yards. Look, we've talked about this for a while now. You can have a turnover. Yeah. You can have a couple of turnovers sometimes if you're offsetting that by putting points on the board, by making the spectacular plays today. And I heard the guys talk about it on the broadcast. I know you did as well, that after that first end zone interception, he seemed like a different guy. He was more tentative. He was off target. He was, I don't know if it was don't put the ball in a position where it can get challenged. And then, late in the game, he almost has the pick, throwing it down the field. I think it was to Marvin Jones. It might have been Christian Kirk on that one.
It was Marvin.
It was Marvin, okay. And then, of course, the one that does get picked where he forced the ball to, I thought, a well-covered Christian Kirk on that play. And as we were watching it, Zay Jones is
wide open on the crosser.
Seemingly open across the middle right there. So
the quarterback, he stood in the media room after that Texans throw where he rolled to his right, threw the ball right into the end zone for the interception. And he said, I've got to be better. I will be better. That was the same throw.
Yep.
It was the exact same throw. And as he's rolling right, I'm thinking, I'm almost yelling it. Throw it away.
Same throw,
live
same
to fight
play.
another play.
I mean, everything. The guy was, kind of like, I find it hard to believe that Trevor does not see Justin Simmons right there. He's
How can you
right
miss him
in front of him?
He's an all-pro safety. You got to know where 31 is.
And he's doing a good job. All he did was mirror Trevor on that play. He just came right down the line of scrimmage, didn't try to penetrate, didn't try to drop back. He just stayed right there, almost as if, hey, if you get this look, camp out because you may get one.
Again.
And he did, and that was obviously a game-changing play. Now, at the time, it was 7-0. The Jags would add a field goal and go up to 10-0, but you could have been the Broncos going down 17-0 in a game like this where they've scored 20 points once all year. Demoralizing.
They had no first downs at that point. They
Correct.
had none.
Right.
The Jaguars owned every statistical category. They had dominated the game, and that interception breathed life into the Broncos.
Oh, no question about it, right? I mean, it gives you energy. And
here's what's disappointing to me. 3 or 4 plays before that, Trevor was back. There was no one open, and he quickly made the decision, throw it out of the back of the end zone. You remember that play?
Yeah, he did. Sailed it.
And that's when I thought, okay, good. He's not going to let the red zone beat him today like it did against the Texans. It did against the Redskins as well. The Jaguars have 4 red zone turnovers this year and have lost all 4.
Hey, look, I've never been an NFL play caller, but I hated it the second they lined up in shotgun from the 1-yard line. It's first and goal. Get under center. They did it again when Etienne scored. First down, in shotgun. You hand it off. He gets stuffed. Second down, he was able to score on that. But at least when you're up under center, you can give the threat of the quarterback sneak. So if you want to run something wide, if you want to do all kinds of different things, they've got to really try to fill those A gaps, and you kind of dictate to the defense what you're going to do. Now, look, I'm obviously not a professional play caller, but, I mean, this is not hindsight. As they're going up to the line of scrimmage and they're in shotgun, I'm just screaming, what are you doing?
I imagine that Doug Peterson will say, as he has before this season, that sometimes when you're calling plays, you need to just remind yourself to line up and call the basic stuff and not get crazy. And he was talking the last time he mentioned that after the Colts loss, where on that 3rd and short, they sort of ran the option and they stretched it all the way to the sideline.
Yes.
It's like, I got to remind myself from time to time just to keep it simple. And
we have all these fun plays. We want to empty the bag, show you what we can do. And I don't even think it's that. I don't think they're trying to prove a point. I think they want to win the football game.
No doubt.
And they're trying to call a play that they think is going to work. And I get it. A lot of teams, this is not our grandfather's NFL, right? Teams do throw it from the 1-yard line. But if you're not that good at it, which the Jags haven't proven to be, and they don't have that big, dominant red zone receiver. I mean, Aaron Rodgers throws it from the 1-yard line, pads those stats all day long, but he's had Devontae Adams for all those years. It's a little bit different what we've got.
Well, and here's the other thing. Travis Etienne put up a career day, 24 carries for 156 yards and a touchdown, and he was on early. Just feed him.
All day. Right.
Feed
the guy is picking up chunks, and I get it. It's a short-yarded situation. It's a little bit different, but give him an opportunity.
All right, Jaguars fall in London, 21-17. They've lost 5 in a row. Jaguars Postgame is presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. They're the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're waiting on the Baptist Health locker room report and the head coach. More to come here on Jaguars Radio.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the print services you need for your business. Need large banners and signs for your next promotional event? How about custom boxes to advertise your company fleet? Find out for yourself how Kessler Creative can help you stand out from the competition with eye-catching designs that are sure to impress your customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Welcome back to Jaguars Postgame from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. The Jaguars fall at Wembley Stadium in London, fifth consecutive loss. And Jaguars Postgame is presented by Florida Home AC. When you look and you see the rushing numbers in particular today, the Jaguars ran for 191 yards, and Travis Etienne, 24 carries for 156 yards. He got the touchdown, so complete day for him. We saw the big play, the 49-yard run down the sideline, which showed brilliant footwork by him to stay in bounds when his momentum was carrying him out. And then the 1-yard touchdown plunge, right? I mean, whatever they needed him to do today, Mike, he had it in him.
Oh, no question. And this is the kind of day that, in the light of the trade that you make to send James Robinson away, you go, it's hard to argue with the results here in the run game. And one thing I think Jaguar fans, media, everybody, we said, we get what you want to do, Doug, but maybe a little more balance. Well, they're pretty balanced today as far as the offense goes. When you consider that towards the end they were throwing it a little bit more. Trevor Lawrence only threw it 31 times today, and the backs had 28 carries. You had an end around to Zay Jones, and then Trevor chipped in with a handful. So the Jags actually ended up running it 32 times to 31 passes. So this is as balanced as you can basically be.
Yeah, Doug doesn't ever talk about balance or mix or any of those things that Tom Coughlin and Jack Del Rio might. He'd probably rather throw it more.
Right.
So when you look at the 31 pass attempts, you think, all right, he's dialing it back a little bit on his quarterback. Maybe the rain was part of it. Maybe the turnover, and he understood that it got in his head a little bit. Who knows? But clearly, Doug Peterson's a guy who wants to run this modern offense where you throw the ball to set up the run, not use the run to set up the pass.
Right. Throw to score, run to win, run to put the game away. And, you get into that 4-minute offense, but you got to give yourself the opportunity. The Jags, in come from behind mode, give them credit for putting it up there on the board and taking the lead there, but then you give up the lead right back, you throw the interception, it's game over basically at that point in time. But, it doesn't have to be perfectly balanced, but you can't forget about the running game, especially when you got, again, Travis Etienne going for 6.5 yards a carry today. And that's probably because he had a few more short yardage carries, which brings that number down. I mean, this guy is picking up steady 7 yards a clip over the last month of football.
And it's important to note that there were times when he was getting 6 and 7 yards, and it didn't look like it was there. He's a patient runner and lets blocks develop.
And he does when it's there, when he sees the crack. I mean, he bursts right through it. So, I mean, kudos to him. He had a phenomenal game today. It's just a shame it came at a loss.
He finishes with 162 yards from scrimmage. He caught 3 passes for 6 yards as well. We have to address the quarterback throwing the ball at the end of the ball game there on the interception. You have 1:30 to play, 1:36, I believe, and you have 2 timeouts. And the mandate from the coach as he walks out there, whether it's Mike McCoy or Doug Peterson, is be smart with the football. It has to be.
Sure.
Be smart with the football. And he throws the ball inside, maybe not inside, but to a position where K'Wan Williams could make a play on the ball instead of putting it on the outside to Christian Kirk. And the other thing that struck me about that is he has turnovers this year, and we'd have to go back and count them. But how many of them have come when he's trying to force the ball to Christian Kirk? Again, Zay Jones is coming right across there.
Sure.
So you scratch your head because you think your quarterback's finally going to get the game-winning drive. 3:50 left to play. He's got the lead. And then he's got another chance and doesn't have it.
Right, could have had the 2 game-winning drives. And it's like, look, for a team that's struggling to score right now, that's asking a lot. Give them credit for putting them back in the lead, but it might have been putting the game away at that point if you don't make the mistakes earlier. And I just thought Trevor, once again, was a little bit off, even before the interception. He missed a few that I thought were makeable. He missed Marvin Jones on a 3rd down. This was a little bit later in the game. That was a throw a guy with his capabilities should make, and he was past the sticks and really didn't give him a fighting chance. Threw another one basically at Christian Kirk's feet. It was really an awkward ball.
As he was going out of bounds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that last interception to Kirk seemed like he made up his mind as the ball was snapped or right before the ball was snapped that I'm going there. And even if he throws it to the outside, Brian, that's a tough pass to complete. He was blanketed. It was single coverage. But, I mean, you're talking about your smallest target out there, and he's got a man in position. Like you said, be smart with the football. That's not the only place you can go with it. You don't need everything in one play. You had plenty of time to actually make that comeback.
You had plenty of time if you wanted to go to the hot player in the ball game, and that's put the ball in the hands with 2 timeouts of Travis Etienne on 1st down. Kind of build the speed and work into this a little bit.
Well, hindsight's perfect. I don't think they had to run the football, but you just can't make that throw. That's the bottom line. You can't turn it over there. It wasn't like it was this spectacular above the X's and O's plays by the Denver defense. It was a play that was there to be made, and they made it. You just got to be smarter, more judicious with where you go with the ball. And I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of that from Trevor, and I hope he's going to get there at some point. And I hope it comes this season.
We expected it.
It's just when you're getting in position now where you're getting down to the 4th quarter and you're wondering what is going to go wrong this week that's going to cost the Jags a win.
Well, and I'll admit, I was sitting watching the game thinking, I don't know if they can do this. Now, he did, credit. Christian Kirk put him in position with the 45-yard line. Can they get it done? And then the next question is, can they hold on? I thought the defense, honestly, would be able to based on the back-to-back 3-and-outs that they had thrown at them. In fact, they had 3 3-and-outs in the second half that they threw at Russell Wilson, and yet the 49-yarder over the top to Trey Herndon tells you we still haven't solved that problem. We still have a big hole in our pass defense.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they're talking about why wasn't there a safety over the top. Andre Sisco was kind of on that side of the field.
Yeah. But he was underneath.
He got a little lost in no man's land, I thought, right there. And, you've got Trey Herndon, who's probably your slowest corner, matched up with the speediest. KJ Hamler's not the best receiver.
He's quick.
But in terms of a straight line burner, he's probably the fastest guy that they have. And
we'll probably hear this week that Andre was supposed to be back and over the top on that.
Tony Smith made that. He was the first one to point it out to me. And I don't know that that's the case definitively, but it certainly looked like it was a possibility.
Jaguars fall in London, 21-17 to the Denver Broncos. It was a game, Mike, in which they jumped out to a 10-0 lead. And really, at that moment, they had 154 yards of offense. The Broncos had 30. They had 8 first downs. The Broncos had none. Magically, about that 8:43 is where they had their first down of the game.
Think about this, too. It's that critical error, right? Philadelphia, you're 14-3. You turn it over, right? And then the game completely changes from that point on. Houston, it's not like there was a dramatic offensive swing to the Texans, but you had your one opportunity and poof, it disappeared. And then you really didn't get another good opportunity. Against the Giants, you're going in. It wasn't Trevor, it was Travis Etienne, but you look like you're going to go up 18-10 at that point in time, and then poof, the game got away from you. And here it was the same thing. Like the Jags looked like they were going to steamroll Denver today. So they get all this momentum, and it just goes to show you that these critical mistakes that they're making, I think more so than just giving the ball to the other team, they're taking, I don't know if it's the spirit, the will, it's got to be frustrating for those players to be going through the same thing over and over.
And you wonder, short of actually winning the game, how you reinstate that confidence level.
Right. And I people say you have to learn how to win. Trey Herndon's played football for a long time, right? Yeah. I mean, did he have to, because it was that situation? Is that why he didn't know how to cover KJ Hamler?
Or Andre Cisco didn't know to stay deep over the top? Because that's the fastest guy on their field.
It's to me, like you said, other than actually finishing it off and winning, how do you learn how to win? How do you learn how to win without doing it? And I think they're in that kind of a bit of a rut right now. I wonder if they're just anticipating what's going to go wrong. Maybe they're not. Maybe they have that level of confidence that's still really high, because I think as we have watched the game, we're feeling that. I think the fans are feeling that as well, that, when is the other shoe going to fall?
All right, we'll take a break. PRI Productions is the Southeast's full-service event company, and they have everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com to learn more. This is Jaguars Postgame, brought to you by Florida Home AC, and we're back after this on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans that cover over 6,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call the MVPs at CarShield for the best coverage ever. Call 800-471-1223. 800-471-1223. Go Jags!
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Welcome back, Jaguars postgame from TIAA Bank Field in the Jaguars Radio Network studios. Brian Sexton and Mike Dempsey with you. We are waiting to hear from head coach Doug Peterson. We'll tell you the Jaguars postgame is presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. They're the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike, so I'm the rookie at this.
Okay.
You want to do some numbers here, or what do we want to do?
Oh, yeah, we can look at, if you want to take a look at the ViStar final stats, we can do that. Usually, JP will run through the team stats. I'll do the individual, but
all right.
Whatever you want to do, I'll jump right in. Let me take a look at what the team stats say for us today. Jags, more first downs than the Denver Broncos, which, if you watch the game, probably not that surprised. They moved the ball pretty well early on, 24-18. They led them there on 65 total offensive plays to 61 for Denver. The Jags got outgained in the end after having a massive advantage at one point in the first half. The final tally, 331 total yards for Denver, 305 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 230 passing. The Jags net passing only 114 yards today. Trevor Lawrence had 133 pure passing yards. The Jags did run for nearly 200 yards again, though. 191 on the ground officially, 101 for the Denver Broncos. Turnovers, well, there you go, 2-1. But, Brian, 10 penalties in the first half for the Broncos. We said it at halftime. They've got to be going, man, all we have to do is stop killing ourselves and we're going to win this football game. They had 10-1 penalty disadvantage, and they were down by 3 at the half.
And in the second half, the Jaguars committed 4 and they committed 2, so there you go. They cleaned it up, and the Jaguars had a couple of critical errors.
Right. You're going to make a few errors along the way, but Denver really turned things around. They were shooting themselves in the foot pretty frequently. Jags had about 34 minutes of time of possession to 26 for the Denver Broncos. Now, as you get inside the box score, Russell Wilson with the bad hamstring, 252 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He did get picked by Tyson Campbell early in the football game. Trevor Lawrence, as we pointed out, 18 of 31 for 133. Threw the touchdown to Evan Ingram, pair of interceptions. He was sacked twice as well. Trevor Lawrence quarterback rating 52.2 compared to 84.3 for Russell Wilson, which is still kind of mediocre in today's NFL. On the ground, Travis Etienne, spectacular, 24 for 156 with a touchdown, a long run of 49 yards. Jermichael Hasty chipped in with 13. Trevor Lawrence had 15 of his own. Latavius Murray led the way, 14 carries for 46 yards. He scored. Melvin Gordon also getting a touchdown on the ground today, 9 carries for 29 yards for the veteran running back. It was the tight ends who led the way for each team today. Evan Ingram had 4 for 55. Seemed, though, that after that touchdown, they really did a pretty nice job bottling him up for the most part. Had 1 or 2 catches after that. Christian Kirk caught 3 for 40. Greg Dulcich had the big drive.
He had 88 yards on that drive.
Right. Well, I think it was 78 because he ended up with 87.
You're right, 78. You're right.
He had 3 for 78 on that drive, almost scored the touchdown, ended up 4 for 87. Jerry Jeudy caught 6 for 63 and caught that little tap pass for the TD.
When you look at the Broncos numbers, if you had told me that Russell Wilson would complete 18 of 30 for somewhere in the mid-2s, 250, an interception, a touchdown, 84.3, I thought, all right, that's good enough to win. That's good enough to win. When you hold their running game, which isn't their strength, down, and Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton had 1 catch for 13 yards.
Right.
1. Out here in week 2 last year, he had 9 for 157 yards and a touchdown. I mean, again, you look at the numbers, those are good enough to win. They're not.
Sure, but if you also said the Denver Broncos, who are arguably the best defensive team in the league, certainly one of the handful of best defensive teams in the league, are going to get over 20 points for only the second time all year.
Yeah, you'd say that.
You'd say, you know what, that gives them a pretty good chance the way they've been playing defensively. Just quickly, defensively, individually, Foye Oluokun led the way with the Jags with 9 total tackles, 8 solos. Dwan Smoot had a sack and a half today. Arden Key had a sack, and Trayvon Walker pick up the other half for Jacksonville.
And when you look there, you see that Josh Allen had just 2 tackles on the day, and that's a big deal.
Non-factor.
They need him to be a factor. And he and I talked in the locker room on Wednesday this week about how he knows they need him to step up and make big plays, how his teammates need to see it. And today, 2 tackles.
Right, they're down to their third-string left tackle.
Right.
He had the matchup
right.
you would have dreamed about, and the guys during the broadcast were talking about what a good job that guy was doing blocking. That is not a good sign.
No, it's not. In fact, they are down 3 starting offensive linemen. Heck, the Giants last week were down 2. And the Jaguars have not been able to take advantage. Those are the VyStar final stats. Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by VyStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. Brian Sexton and Mike Dempsey with you here. We're awaiting word from head coach Doug Peterson at Wembley Stadium, and we'll have that for you shortly. We'll continue right after this. Sure, that's right. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions Reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Hey Jaguars fans, enter now for your chance to win behind-the-scenes access, game tickets, and more. Look for details at Publix, where you can pick up all of your game day needs, including Bounty, Tide, Pantene, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop.
This week at Publix, save $10 instantly when you spend $40 on the P&G products that help you tackle everything. Clip your digital coupon now at Publix.com.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville. Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues, to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It is just after 1 o'clock here in Jacksonville, Florida. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars Football Network. And welcome back. Brian Sexton along with Mike Dempsey. We are waiting the word from head coach Doug Peterson at Wembley Stadium on what amounts to the Jaguars' 5th consecutive loss. It seems so long ago, Mike, that we were talking about a team putting it all together in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, of all places. And I'll admit, I thought they came back from Philly and they had a great opportunity against the Colts and the Giants to kind of get a winning streak going, and it's gone the wrong way. And I'm wondering in part if the quarterback's confidence level is taking a hit here. He's a guy who's always been confident. He's always won until the NFL. And he'll stand there today, I'm sure he will, and talk about how he hasn't lost any confidence. And I don't think that it's earth-shattering to suggest that he should have lost some. When you throw that interception into the red zone like that, you've got to be wondering, what am I doing?
When you've done it before, just a few weeks prior. I think that is the thing. You compound it. You know you can't make that mistake. You've already made it once, and it basically cost you a game. And, this one, look, there are a lot of plays that could have been made that could have changed the outcome of this game that came after that. But to me, that's still the biggest single play. You know how it is. Turnovers are killers everywhere, but when you're down there on the 1-yard line, and that breathes so much life into your opponent, and all of a sudden they're backed up. Now they're out at the 20-yard line because they got a pick in the end zone. So, yeah, look, he does strike me, Trevor Lawrence is the kind of guy who is going to give you the very calm, composed, thoughtful
but inside
answer. Well, you have to wonder, Brian. The guy threw for 133 yards today, and he was, off target on a number of throws. And again, maybe a little rainy, but not for, most of the game I don't think that was a factor. And I'm not excusing that. Maybe, a throw or two here gets away from you, but it's got to be better than it was, and I think he's got to know that. I don't know if it's a confidence issue or if it's just a performance issue right now.
Well, and here's the other thing that I'm wondering about. He leads the game, what appears to be the game-winning drive. It was go-ahead, at least, 17-14, and then the defense can't stop them. So now he's got 2 timeouts and 1 minute and 36 seconds left. All right, this is what I'm paid to do. I'm the man. Let's get this happening. And on the first throw, it's an interception. I'm a body language guy. I like to see how people conduct themselves. I watched as he walked off the field today, and his shoulders were slumped. Now, he might
not be.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
But I worry about that, right? Not that you're ruining him. I know people will take this and run with it, but I worry that the quarterback right now, man, he needs something good to happen. And you know how that goes. You put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect, and that's really almost impossible to be.
I think you ruin quarterbacks when, A, you can't protect them, which is not the issue here.
No.
And where you put them in circumstances that are too big for them, that they're not ready for. I don't think that's the case with Trevor Lawrence. To me, this is on him here at this point. I've got to believe the coaching staff has pounded that into his head. We can't have that. We're not scoring enough that we can give those opportunities up, and those game-swaying interceptions are killing us, yet he goes out and does it again.
Second or third drive of the first or second drive of the third quarter, he stands in the pocket too long, gets the ball knocked out. Tyler Shatley's the only one that saves disaster.
Great play by Shatley.
Yeah, the only one who can save disaster there as well. It was a shaky performance, although early you got the sense that he had some momentum going. All right, let's not pile on the quarterback. Although I think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's piling on. It's just fair critique. I mean,
you're right.
I know what you're saying. It's not all Trevor Lawrence that lost this game today.
No, but his mistakes stand out the most.
Look, you're the quarterback in professional football. You're the focal point of the team. You're going to get that criticism when you lose.
All right, let's shift to the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Came on the second drive for Russell Wilson, and the Broncos quarterback looked to try to get the ball into the arms of Courtland Sutton, their big-time playmaker, and instead, Tyson Campbell got in the way. And for some reason, we are not hearing it. Okay. That is our Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. It was a big-time play. And you have to suggest that Tyson Campbell had a heck of a game because Courtland Sutton had just one.
You would think.
Reception.
Right? I mean, and
without seeing the tape.
I don't tweet during games. It's something I don't do, but occasionally I'll glance at social media and people were like, man, what is going on with Courtland Sutton? And a few savvy people out there were saying, hey, look, he's in Tyson Campbell's zone right now, and he is playing in a zone. And, he also, Courtland Sutton had a drop across the middle, but I think sometimes you press a little bit when you're not getting those opportunities that you're used to, and, I got to make a play. So I think Tyson Campbell had a great impact on this game, and it was a great way to get the team started and, set them up point-blank range. They took advantage of it, but unfortunately it wasn't enough.
And the flip side is that Tyson Campbell is playing well, but Shaq Griffin did not. Trey Herndon is not. And there's not likely to be a solution off the roster. I mean, you can go and sign somebody. You could probably even send a draft pick if you were that worried about it. But speaking of draft picks, maybe we'll see Monteric Brown before we get too far down the road. The rookie from Arkansas is a guy that Doug Peterson told me earlier this week that they like, that he's coming along. They didn't think he's ready yet. He probably still isn't. But at some point, you got to change things up. If Trey Herndon, that's twice that he's gotten beaten deep in 2 starts.
Sure, and look, you're right. You're not going to find a whole lot of help on the street. The cornerback is a position that probably every team would love to add. So if the vets are not getting it done, the young guys are going to get an opportunity at some point.
Jaguars fall in London today, 21-17, and they have now lost 9 games consecutively dating back to last season, classified as 1-score games. So we're scratching our heads here trying to figure this out. The mistakes keep piling up, the interceptions, and today it was 2 or 3 plays from being a completely different ball game. But once again, it goes down the drain against the Jaguars. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more after this on Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
At 5-Star Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. 5-Star Credit Union, 5starcu.org. Go Jags!
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know.
Let's go with some questions. Catalonia Radio. You try to attack the Broncos defense with the run very efficiently today, but you found problems with the pass and especially with the red zone. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's been an area that we've kind of struggled in all season. We kind of pride ourselves on trying to get touchdowns, and once we get into the red zone, but it's something we have to, as a staff, we really have to take a look at and make sure that we are, putting our players in situations there and plays that, that they can be successful in. And, it's got to be a collective effort, the coaches, players, offensively, just, making that conscious effort to get better.
Obviously, Trevor didn't make a good decision there on the first and goal. Any second guessing on your part, throwing the ball on first and goal from the one?
No, because it's first and goal, it's a relatively safe play. If it's not there, just and Trevor knows this. Just throw the ball, just sail the ball, and you've got 2 to 3 more downs to do whatever you want to do there. I can definitely do a better, play call, obviously, but at the same time, defensively, as they pack the box, just trying to get, kind of one-on-one with Christian and Trevor, really. They did a nice job of taking that away. So we just got to learn from it, throw the ball away, live to play second down and take our chance that way.
Was that interception eerily reminiscent of the one against the Texans where you wanted him to make a similar decision of throwing it out of the back of the end zone?
Yeah.
How do you coach out those mistakes?
You just keep coaching it. You just keep showing them. You just keep teaching. That's why we, as coaches, do what we do, and we've got to continue to teach and just show Trevor and a lot of the players just those situations, and those are always the critical ones that seem to raise their head, in games like this when it comes down to a one-score game. It's unfortunate, but we've got to be smart. I think both coaches and players collectively in those situations.
It keeps coming down to a one-score game. How does the team overcome that? How do they get beyond losing that one-score game?
I tell you what, my hat's off to those guys in the dressing room. They battle their tails off. We just keep plugging. We just keep plugging away, and we keep practicing, and we keep learning, and we keep teaching, and we keep scratching and fighting. And I truly believe that good things are going to happen for this football team. We're sitting here after 8 games, not where we want to be, obviously. But to every man in there, nobody's going to hang their head. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Nobody's going to, we're not going to make excuses. We just got to continue to work.
Coach, now you've experienced a London game as Jags head coach. Despite the result, what do you think the future of the franchise can hold over here in London?
Well, they're obviously well respected here, and I believe Shad, our owner, does a great job of marketing and a lot of Jags fans over here, and it was great to see today. And it's just I think it's just a relationship that we continue to build on, each and every year, and enjoy coming over here, and I just wish it were a better result.
Big game from Travis Etienne today. Was that what you expected from?
Yes.
Would you like to see more of that from number one?
Yes.
How much more of that can you get from number one?
A lot. Get another one?
Sure. I can keep going. Well, could you have asked anything more from me?
No, he played. Listen, he played great today. He played tough. He played physical. He's a good football player, and again, we just got to continue to find ways to get the ball in his hand.
Doug, overall defensively, got some big plays, and at the end, couldn't win them.
Yeah, we started the game extremely well, and just we got a turnover early, and just got after the quarterback a little bit there, and then it's just, listen, it's a 60-minute football game, and we've got to continue to play for 60 minutes and keep the pressure on. And I thought the D-line did a nice job. When they needed to get a pass rush, they got the pass rush there, and that was good to see today. And again, we needed to find a stop at the end, again, as coaches, we look at those situations and did we do our part to put our players in position to make those plays.
You've preached patience since before the year started. Were these the kind of close games that you anticipated going into the season when you started saying, hey, be patient, it's a young team, there will be growing pains?
I think so. These last couple of weeks are tough, tough to take, especially as hard as the guys work and play. And what I'm proud of is the guys they're playing for 60 minutes, right? They're playing to the end. I honestly, if there's nobody likes to lose, right? I mean, that's the nature of the game. But if I had to pick, I'd rather pick these types of games than blowout games where you lose. I think you learn more in losses like this as a team, where we are with the culture of our team, than you would in a blowout loss. And my hat's off to the guys. Nobody's gonna, like I said, nobody's gonna hang their heads. We just got to keep fighting.
When you see your guys fight till the very end like that, does that give you the hope that it'll start paying off in the long run? You can see it.
I do. Yeah, I do. I believe that. I believe that we keep fighting and keep working the way they're working. Good things will pay off eventually. We're just looking for that one to get it kind of started, and then we just build off of that. So it's kind of where we are.
Doug, what if anything did you say to Trevor either after the first interception or after the last one?
I mean, listen, we still have a lot of trust and a lot of faith in him, and we're just going to continue to grow. We're going to grow together, and I just told him to keep his head up, stay confident. I want to put the ball back in his hands and just show the trust that I have in him, and that the team has. And he knows that we've got to be better in a few situations, but. Those are really good learning opportunities for Trevor.
Okay, Coach. Thank you so much.
All right.
This has been more about execution than scheme.
Yeah,
up to this point.
And the mistakes have been multiple, week in and week out. And today, it appears that the mistakes come to the feet of quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Not all of them, but the big.
Dylan, we going? Yeah. Hey, DeJuan, how frustrating is it for you as a player when these games keep coming down to the very end and you guys can't quite get over that hump?
I mean, it's tough. like you said, we just can't figure out a way to get over that hump. But it's just those 2 or 3 plays that we're just missing. You know, they go the opposite way, and they'll end up winning those plays. So we just got to find a way to be able to finish those plays and be able to come out on the right side of those. You know, I mean, every game has been either 3 points or it's been a score. You know, that we're coming down to the line, and it's so close. You know, we just got to figure out a way to be on the right side of it. That's it.
Does that kick in the stomach week in and week out make you guys that much more hungry?
Definitely. I mean, we see how close we are. We know the things that we need to do to win those things. I mean, we're just coming back to work every day, every Wednesday, every Thursday. We're coming to work, and it's like war every day. You know, we're making sure that we're doing those things so we can win, and we just coming up short. That's all it is.
Was a step forward at all defensively? 3 sacks, a takeaway. Hadn't had that in a few weeks.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, I feel like every week we're taking a step forward. We're gelling together each week, and we're getting better each week. I mean, we're focusing on just, you know, covering in the back, you know, and rushing up front. We got the guys up front. We got the guys in the back end as well, too, to cover. So we just got to stick to what we do best.
What was Doug's message to the team after this one?
Just keep going. I mean, we got a lot to fight for. We still got, 9 games now? You know, there's still a chance. We still got a lot to fight for. So that's all it is. We just got to keep going. We got to come back to work on Wednesday and do what we can.
What's the energy like from the team, you know, moving forward after this close loss? I mean, all the losses have been close, so.
Yeah, I mean, today, I mean, it's tough, you know, but 24-hour rule. I mean, on Wednesday, we're going to come back fired up and get ready to play the Raiders. So that's all we can focus on. I mean, we can't take back the pass. We just got to move forward.
Can you use today to maybe spark that pass rush a little bit?
Definitely. I mean, we did a really good job up front, you know, but at the end of the day, like, what matters is we got to win. I mean, we can have 10 sacks out here and lose, and, you know, it won't be anything special. We have to win at the end of the day, and that's what we're trying to do, trying to change the culture.
How did you and the team find the home atmosphere here at Wembley?
Say that one more time.
How did you and the team find the home atmosphere here at Wembley?
I mean, it was good. It was a good atmosphere. I mean, the fans, they came out. I think it was sold out today. So, I mean, it was a really good turnout of fans. They really came. You know, it was really loud out there. So, it's a good experience. All good? All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
In these games, these losses, so close, and everyone says, okay, you have to learn how to win. How do you teach guys how to win?
We're figuring it out the hard way, you know, and the thing is, it starts with just the belief of the players. The team has to believe in themselves. And
I feel like just being a competitor, like, it sucks. I feel like when you have an L, the stats don't even matter. I feel like although we did some good things out there, we didn't come out with the W, and so therefore I didn't do enough to win the game, and have to go back to the drawing board, have to watch film, look at things that I can get better at. Feel like it's a couple of plays I probably could have got a little more out of something, and I have to just critique myself, just keep being my biggest critic, and just keep getting better, so that way the outcomes are not L's and they're W's.
How tough is it to stomach these close losses?
It's really hard. It's really hard because we out here, we work each and every week. We go there and we put our best foot forward every time. Like, it's just something that you work all your life for, and you're just not getting the result that you want. But you have to just keep your head forward and keep hitting the rock. Just keep hitting the rock, and eventually it's going to break. And I feel like once it breaks, it's going to be great things for us here.
Travis, pretty big workload for you today. How do you feel? How did you come through it? How fresh were you lately?
I feel like I'm a running back, and I feel like you ask any running back that question, and we get better as the game goes because they have to tackle us. So I feel like we get better as the game goes. The offensive line keeps rolling, and I want to give my shout out to them. They played a hell of a game. But I feel like as a running back, you're a competitor. When a team needs you, you make those plays. And I feel like throughout the game, I just kept getting better and better at just getting in that zone. And I feel like I feel great right now. I'm pretty sure I wake up sore a little bit, but that's just football. I'll do my little rehab and prehab to work on things so I could be better next Sunday.
What did you think of your first game here in London?
I Well, outside of the L, everything else was amazing. I feel like the fans were great. I feel like just the whole London experience for me was just a great experience. You asked me as a little kid or somebody in high school if I be playing football in London, I would have just looked at you and be like, man, you're crazy. But just to have the whole experience and just running out the tunnel and have the fans just yelling. I never thought people in London knew who I was, honestly. And just had like a little sign the day before, and had a kid come in there, and he had my jersey on. And then another man, he was like, man, we got to get your jerseys here. So I feel like it's a blessing. And I feel like that's just God. It shows that he's real. And I just ask him every day, just continue to let that light in me shine brighter than the one that's on me. And all the glory goes to him, and just forever thankful. And I feel like London is definitely a place that I'll get back to. I feel like it was much love. I had some wings at the hotel tonight. I know wings are simple, but they were great. They were really great. I went for like seconds and thirds, and I tore up the breakfast this morning. So I don't think it was a cereal. I didn't find a cereal that I liked this morning. That was the only thing. But other than that, everything else was great.
With these close losses, does the locker room still feel like the arrow's pointing up with this team?
Definitely. I feel like we're football players. We're competitors. And the moment we lose faith, that's when everything falls down. We can't lose faith. We just have to keep believing. Like we watch film just like y'all guys watch the game. We know we're doing great things out there. We know we're just so close. And as a team, I feel like these games, we have to gel closer together, because that's the only way we're going to make it. And I was just telling Trev, it's never on you. It's a team sport. And as a team sport, we have to come together and just keep finding ways to be better. And I feel like at the end of the game, we just have to keep finding ways. And when we get this outcome, we just have to look in the mirror and come closer as a team, because that's the only way we're going to get this done. Football is played with 11 men on the field at a time, and not one man is going to be the whole show. So we have to get 11 on the field, doing each of us doing our job, and that's how we're going to be better.
All right, thanks, Travis. Appreciate your time.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are back on Jaguars Postgame from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, presented by Florida Home AC. A record international crowd, 86,215 strong at Wembley. Today, watch the Broncos beat the Jaguars 21-17. Time for the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. You probably saw it as well, that Rayshon Jenkins was injured during the game, got up, left the field, but went back into the game. So that's all we have for you in terms of an injury update. That was the most memorable, most significant injury to a player that we're talking about with the Jaguars today. You know, bumps and bruises could come up on the plane ride home. Guys might report when they come in to get their lift in.
Trevor, how do you get past this feeling? Coach Peterson just talked about learning how to win, and just learning is taking a while at this point.
Yeah, it's obviously it's frustrating. I mean, we say the same thing every week, so it's tough, and same thing that I've said every week when I stand up here, and I'm pretty upset and frustrated and disappointed in myself and the way I finished the game, and just have to continue to find ways to win these games, like I've said. So, regardless of mistakes throughout the game, at the end we just got to find ways to rally and go make the play. And there on the last drive, felt like we had all the confidence in the world stepping out there, and then first play, I threw it a little bit behind Christian, and the nickel K1 made a good play and picked it, and it's just the way it ended. So that's tough, being the quarterback and having an opportunity to go win the game and you don't get it done. That's really, really disappointing and frustrating. And I got to look in the mirror and I got to play better. There's that, and then there's the goal line interception, and there's a couple plays I really want back, but you don't get them back, at this point. So it's finding ways to overcome those. Obviously, in the last play of the game, there you can't overcome that because the game's over. But even throughout the game, we kind of sputtered a little bit on offense, and we got to find more ways to rally around each other, get back on track. And I thought we did that the second to last drive, put together a good drive with good field position there to start, and went down and scored. And then after that, we got a minute 40 with 2 timeouts left and plenty of time. We got, no panic, no rush at all. And I just got to get the drive started and get us moving. And I wasn't able to do that. So, it's definitely a tough feeling when you come all this way, especially, and you got guys that are working so hard to win, and you're doing everything you can, and just not being able to finish the game there. So, but all we can do is just keep going to work, keep doing what we've been doing. We know how close we are, but that's not really that's not the point of this thing. It's to go win games, and it's moments like this will make it a lot sweeter when we do turn that corner and we start winning a bunch of games and doing all the things that we know we're capable of here, and I got no doubt that's going to happen. But I got to play better, and I'll leave it at that. I didn't play well enough today to win.
What did you say to the team as you came off the field after that interception at the end?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What did you say to the team as you came off the field after that interception at the end?
Say to the team, you said?
To the rest of the players.
To the rest, just there, I'm kind of taking it in, and just obviously a bad moment there, and not a good play by me, and just disappointed. I mean, there's a couple guys that came up to me and told me to keep my head up, all that stuff. We got a great team, guys that are really supportive, and just had some conversations in the locker room with those guys. And the biggest thing is, there's still so much season left, and we gotta keep our heads up, and we gotta keep going to work, and that can't change. Obviously another tough game that came down to the wire that we weren't able to finish, and that's going to turn, and we got to just keep putting the work in. We got to keep, showing up every day, preparing the same way, and just go finish these games and turn the corner and start stacking them. And I believe we're going to do it. But gosh, I wish it would have started today. So that's what's really disappointing is we felt like it was going to start today and just didn't finish.
Trevor, on the first interception, when you're rolling out to the right, did you think you could squeeze that ball to Zay? Because the safety who made the interception was kind of maybe a little bit hidden from you.
To Zay there, I think it was Marvin in the back of the end zone.
Was it Marvin and not Zay?
No, yeah, it was Marvin. It was, the play we had on, we trying to get the ball to Christian, and the nickel did a really good job covering him, and I kept extending the play, and I had Marvin on the back line, just didn't put enough touch to get it over. The safety was really just on the goal line, kind of reading my eyes, running with me, mirroring me, and I had Marvin in the back of the end zone. I just threw it too low, and the safety made a great play. So either, the thing you look back and say is, you put it in a spot where only your guy can get it, and if he catches it, great, touchdown. If not, it's incomplete, and probably obviously not the best location for the ball there, but really don't think that it was necessarily the wrong decision. Just didn't throw a good ball and didn't keep it away from those guys on the goal line. So, yep.
Are you worried about the poor efficiency in the red zone with the team?
Worry, no, because I know what we're capable of. But there's a sense of urgency where we have to be better, and that's like you just talked about the turnover in the red zone we've had. We had one last week, had another one this week, and those are just points you're taking right off the board. And so we got to be better in that way. I thought our defense did a great job today of keeping us in the game when we sputtered on offense. But if you look back at that possession where we were on the goal line, should have scored. That's a 7-point swing. And then you look at the end of half where I had the intentional grounding and should have just taken, the short route out to the field and probably get us in field goal range and have a chance to get 3 points there right before halftime. So there's a couple plays that I really want back that it hurt us and kept points off the board for us, and those are things that we got to get better at, and I got to get better at, and we got to execute better.
Trevor, despite the loss, what do you think your lasting memory of playing at Wembley for the first time will be?
It's a little harder to think about that, after you lose the game. So, it was a great atmosphere. it's always fun playing over here. The fans are great. Just to see the support for the Jags, and it's always cool. So we're really appreciative of the fans, and obviously it sucks. We don't finish the game, don't win, but still appreciate all the fans here that came out, especially the Jags fans, and so thank you to all you guys out there.
Could you talk a little bit about the job that Travis did today? 156 yards rushing.
Yeah,
usually a recipe for winning when you have those kind of numbers from the back.
Yeah, he's continuing to show what kind of player he is and what he's going to be in this offense, and he ran his tail off today. So honestly, just proud of that guy. He's doing some great things, and so you should win the game when you rush for 150, especially just from one player. So we got to find ways to go finish, and he had a great game, and but we all got to be better. So
how do you eliminate those couple of plays each game that can be the difference between winning and losing?
Yeah, I think it's just constantly training yourself in every situation. Obviously when you have a play called and you get the coverage you want and the matchup you want, where you're going with the ball, that's not the hard part. It's when they give you a look that really you don't want for that play or you weren't expecting or whatever, and that's when you just got to be smarter. And personally, I got to be smarter in a few of those situations. And I think there was a couple times where I could have just, taken the completion and kept us on schedule. And I think, once or twice I looked for a little bit more when I probably shouldn't have. So it's all those plays, and I know I've prepared myself. I've watched the tape. I know what they're going to do on defense. But there's always those times where it's a good disguise or it's a pressure or whatever, and it's all about how you react in those moments. And I need to be cleaner and just keep us on schedule. Don't make a bad play worse. We talk about that all the time. I think just keeping us in good situations, manageable situations, because we're really good when we're in 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5, manageable situations. When we get behind the sticks, especially against that team, that's kind of where they've lived this season, is keeping people in 2nd and 3rd and long, and that's where they're really, really good. So that's going to be the message every week. But yeah, just handling those situations better from myself and really just all the way around.
What was different in your preparation this week? You had a different head coach last year when you came here for the first time. What was different this week compared to last year?
Not much was different. Obviously we have a lot of different players, a lot of new players and new coaches. But as far as travel, I think it was the same timing as last year when we got into town. I thought we handled the time change and the adjusted schedule really well, and it was really similar to last year. So I thought we were prepared. I thought the guys were ready to play. Thought all that was fine.
All good. Thank you, Australia.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Best in the league. They're going to bring it, and they're a team that got off to a slow start. They're going to be a little bit desperate as well.
All right, and we're watching them right now. It's scoreless in New Orleans between the Raiders and the Saints.
Saints just went up 7-0.
Did they? Okay. All right, for those of you on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard is next. And for those on the network outside of Jacksonville, you can join us on our social media channels, Jaguars Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. That'll do it for our Jaguars postgame show on the network. The final score, 21-17. The Broncos send the Jaguars to their 5th consecutive loss. And that'll do it here on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars are future-focused. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah & Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, waiting to hear from you. Here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
All right, JP is in London. Brian Sexton with Mike Dempsey here on our Jaguars postgame show. The number 904-355-NFL1. That's 904-355-6351. Jaguars fall 21-17, fifth consecutive loss, all by one score. And again, all dealing with mistakes, turnovers. Today, another red zone interception, the third of the season for Trevor Lawrence. Early in the game when you're up 7-0 with a chance to go up 14-0, Mike, that feels like a completely different game. And then in the fourth quarter, a minute 36 left to play, down 21-17 with 2 timeouts. An interception on the very first play of the drive ends the game. People are going to be asking the question, what's up with Trevor?
Oh, look, they've been asking that question, quite frankly. And, you know, it's the opportunity to go up 14-0 against a team that is scoring 14 points a game. Feels like a knockout blow that early in the football game. And, you know, even though they got, you know, Denver didn't score on the ensuing drive, Jags added a field goal, it was 10-0. It felt like another wasted opportunity to really build a significant lead that's going to be very difficult for this Bronco team to overcome.
Well, they had all the momentum at that point. And
all of it.
When they threw the interception, they had 154 yards of offense, and the Broncos had 30. They had 8 first downs. The Broncos had none. You could just see all of a sudden where Josh Allen can get more involved with the rush, and all of a sudden now you've got them on their heels, and they're playing right into, just like the Chargers game, they're playing right into what you want to do. And instead, the quarterback rolls right, and I'm sure you and I weren't the only two thinking, please throw the ball away right here. Just throw the ball away, live to fight another play, like he had done 3 plays earlier. Instead, tries to be a hero and sling the ball between defenders. Justin Simmons is a really good safety. He reached out and made an amazing athletic play, and all of a sudden, it's done.
That looked like it was well scouted, really, right? I mean, because, again, he mirrors Trevor Lawrence down the line of scrimmage, and when he got it, it was almost like, you know, I know if I camp out in this area, I'm going to have a chance to get my hands on the football. I just got to make the play, and he did. Brian, if I'm looking at this right, I don't know how big you are into the analytics and the win probability stuff. Right before that 1st and goal, Jaguars' probability to win that game is they had the ball 7-0 lead, deep inside the 5-yard line, 83% likelihood
I like
they're going
that.
to win the football.
I like that a lot.
I like that a lot too. And then, of course, you know, once you turn that ball over, it never reached that point again. It steadily moved in the direction of Denver. Jags did, when they went up in the fourth quarter, get it back on their side, but ultimately not enough.
Redskins, Texans, Giants, Broncos. What do those 4 losses have in common besides the fact that they all were within 1 score?
Crucial errors?
Turnovers in the red zone.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. When you turn the ball over in the red zone, your winning opportunity diminishes incredibly because you only get so many, Mike. I mean, the average is 11 drives per game. 11. And against a team, especially like Denver, whose defense is so very good, your amount of opportunities that are going to be at 1st and goal like that are very, very slim. Now you're taking one of them and throwing them away.
Right.
You don't know how many more you're going to get. They got 1. They took advantage of it. But then the defense lost. And it just rolled downhill from there. I have to tell you, when they pinned Russell Wilson at his own 2-yard line on the first drive for him in the third quarter, I thought, all right, this is what you're looking for. Not very mobile. They've got enough pressure here. Somebody make a play. And instead, first play is an 18-yard completion to Dolchik, the tight end.
Yep.
And then he hit him twice more for a total of 78 yards on the 88-yard drive. It was befuddling.
It was. And I don't know, because that really was the only drive he showed up.
Yeah.
If they found something and then the Jags made an adjustment to that. But coming out of halftime, that was basically, I think, what they said. Hey, look, this area of the field, we can get the ball to Dulcich. And they did. They made it a point to do that on that drive. He almost scored the touchdown. So, you know, give credit to Denver for, in a season where they haven't done much right offensively, for at least making a few adjustments.
All right. This is Jaguars Postgame on 1010XL. We'll take a break and return. If you'd like to join us, 904-355-NFL1. 904-355-6351. Final score 21-17. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, JTech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com. Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
And welcome back. Brian Sexton along with Mike Dempsey here on the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio. If you'd like to chime in, slow down, Sexton. Chime in with a thought. 904-355-NFL1. That's 904-355-6351. 21-17, the final today from Wembley Stadium in London. Mike, I've been on that charter on the way home after a win. It's so nice to close your eyes and go to sleep. After a loss, you start thinking about, well, especially a fifth consecutive loss, boy, what do I got to get done this week? And how do these segments come about with players, coaches that might be a little shorter than normal? It's not quite so comfortable.
No, obviously not. And, I'm surprised you said just go to sleep. I thought maybe a little celebratory mood might have taken place on the way back. I didn't know where you were going with that.
You're saying that maybe we go through the duty-free on the way up.
Enjoy, you're allowed, right? You're on a long plane flight, but I hear what you're saying, man. It's tough. I've been on the Jags charter only a couple of times. Once to London, once Tony and I years ago went to a Kansas City game in what was week 17 at the time. Jags lost both of them, so maybe it's me. I don't know.
They can't blame you for this one because you're not on the trip. All right, time for the phone lines to open up. Let's go to it.
All right, 355-NFL1, as you know, are the numbers that'll get you on board. We'll begin with AJ in Arkansas, first up here on the Scoreboard Show. AJ, go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. I just had two questions on both sides of the ball. One question was, Treylon hasn't really been as disruptive on the edge. I was wondering what your thoughts are about switching him to the interior and maybe stacking him with Josh Allen on the same side to get more pressure, because it feels like the defense is very stagnant. And my second question, if you don't mind, is Does it feel like Trevor's taking too long to get through his progressions? Is that something that is corrected through teaching, or is that more instinct? I'll take your comments off there. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. That's good questions there.
Yeah.
Brian, for me, I think, whether I would do it, I'm not a defensive schemer, right? I can't put together a defensive game plan like that, but Mike Caldwell and this Jaguar coaching staff has been pretty adamant that we don't want to overload Trayvon Walker. Right? Let's let him learn one thing and try to develop. And he had a sack today, and that was a pretty nice pass rush by him today. The last one he got, Josh Allen kind of ran a man into him.
Right.
This time he made a play, and along with DeJuan Smoot, and they moved him around a little bit, but I think they want him to concentrate on mastering what they're asking him to do right now.
Well, in key situations, he's going to be that 3 technique, right, where he lines up in the inside shoulder of the guard because you hope to create a mismatch. Well, you weren't going to get that necessarily today because, as you heard Jeff Loggeman, I hope you heard Jeff Loggeman, AJ, talk about how these are really good guards. So they wanted to leave him on the outside, and today he had that loop back to the inside, and he made that play. He's got the length, Mike, as he's running by quarterbacks to be able to cause havoc. Here's another reason why you're not going to move him inside too often is the base of this defense is a 3-4, Mike, and they've got those big guys inside, and they count on them to take up blockers so that you can run blitz schemes. You're not going to ask Trayvon Walker to take a guard and a center out so that Foye Oluokun can stride down the middle. It in his game.
It's not a penetrating position the way this defense is run. But look,
in certain
that
situations,
doesn't mean you couldn't throw. Every defensive coach in the last 20 years says their defense is multiple. I don't know one that doesn't, right? They all say, well, we run this base, but we're multiple. We want to be multiple. So I'm not saying there's never going to be an instance where you could line him up and play him as more of a traditional 3 technique. And there may be a few times when, even if you're playing that spot, hey, look, if you've got a 3rd-string left tackle, for instance, today, maybe you do put these guys side by side and give Denver.
They had a 3rd-string left tackle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did actually have a 3rd-string left tackle. Now, in terms of Trevor, not going through his progressions quickly enough, that's a tough one for me. That's one I'm going to give to Jeff Loggeman when we do Check the Tape Tuesday this week. But, I wonder, you go back to that last interception. Should he have been slower a little bit? It seemed like he just made up his mind so quickly, almost like it was predetermined. And if he just glanced that way, you see that Christian Kirk, even though it's one-on-one, he is covered up. And if he can peek his head back around to the left, Zay Jones is open. So I don't know if it's a case of him needing to go through them faster. Maybe there are occasions like that, but in that instance, I thought maybe you need to be a little bit more patient in the pocket.
I don't know that speed is the issue. I think common sense is the issue. There are the throw to Zay Jones probably gets you 8 or 9 yards on first down there instead of the throw to Christian Kirk.
And maybe he breaks a tackle and you get a first down.
You make better decisions. It isn't about getting to your reads quick enough. It's about understanding, and that comes with film study during the week, of where guys are supposed to be and knowing that if I can't, and that's a tough throw, right? Especially with the ball's wet, the field's wet. I got to put the ball on the spot. All right, well, look, I'm going to put it right here, and Zay Jones is going to take it because he's open. I don't know that that's experience. Maybe there's a little bit of it there. He's got to make better decisions. I think that's about understanding exactly what Doug Peterson wants him to do. AJ, appreciate your call. If you'd like to join us, 355-NFL1, 800-355-635. Oh, sorry. It's not 800 anymore. It's just 904-355-NFL1. That tells you how long I've been in the studio.
Old habits.
Old habit. When we return, more of your calls. 21-17 the final. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At Five Star Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. Five Star Credit Union, FiveStarCU.org. Go Jags!
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Sexton, Mike Dempsey with you here on 1010XL as part of the Scoreboard Show. And let's go back to the phone lines, Mike.
Let's do it. 355-6351, Bri. As you know, we go to Darren checking in from the north side next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Darren.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Okay, what's up, man?
My question was, when we get inside the 5-yard line, why can't we just line up big on big and just run the ball in? Why do we have to get fancy with the play action? And evidently it turns into a mistake by Trevor. And I take my comments off the air.
Wish I had a better answer for Darren.
It sounds like he's been here.
Yes.
Talking with us.
That is kind of the question, right?
At that moment where Trevor rolled out, it's like, oh, boy. Just run the ball. Again, a good play works, a bad play doesn't. But I thought I saw that coming.
We have today had the worst delay, right, between the radio broadcast and the TV broadcast.
Was it 20 seconds?
28 seconds.
Yeah, it was
that at least in the studio. So literally, Frank Frangie would call a play, the whole play would run, they'd get up to the line of scrimmage, they'd start another play, and you'd see maybe the previous play from like a play and a half ago. And so Frank goes, okay, it's first and goal in the shotgun. Right then, that's all I needed. Yeah. You couldn't see.
Run the ball.
And I'm screaming in the shotgun. And now, look, if they score, everything's good because that's the nature of sports. If it works, it works, right? And if it works, it was the right call.
Yeah.
You kind of
It worked in the fourth quarter. You would have liked to have seen that run that in the first.
Sure. Look, we all agree. Yeah. I mean, it's getting to the point of absurd, it feels like, to put them in position where they've got to make a more difficult play than they need to. It would be one thing if they're getting stuffed time and time again.
Right.
They happen to get the ball on the one, and we got to get creative here.
At some point, you got to be able to throw when you're in the red zone. You can't just say we're going to line up at the 5-yard line. We're going to grind our way through 4 downs and get in. At some point, you have to be able to throw it.
But clearly, when you're picking up 7+ a carry, that might not be the time.
That was not the time.
Right.
And this quarterback right now doesn't appear like he's ready to be consistent in the tight red zone area. Hence, 2 interceptions on what looked like the exact same play in the last month. I get what you're saying,
it's
Darren.
It's infuriating. It's frustrating. There are all kind of words for it. But, Darren, you reflect the opinion, I think, of a lot of Jaguar fans right now.
100%.
All right, let's head up to Norfolk, Virginia. Kyrie checking in on the Scoreboard Show next. Hi, Kyrie.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. What's on your mind, man?
I think it's time to kind of start to be a little honest about where we are. I feel like, the Broncos and the Jaguars, they have the same problem. Like, they have the talent, but their quarterbacks are holding them back. Trevor Lawrence needs to play better. Right now, he looks like an average to below average quarterback. The throws that he misses, the critical mistakes at the wrong times, you can't do that. And being probably, to me, might be the worst clutch situation quarterback in the NFL. That's not even a debate. The way we flame out, literally, where it's like, Trevor, we need this, and he flames out every single time, more times than not. And don't let me get started on this defense. You let Russell Wilson, who's been struggling all year, come in here and do that to y'all, and y'all the top tier defense? Get out of here. I'm not trying to hear any of that. But it's time to call the question to Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if he's elite. I don't know what he's going to be. But I know he's not it right now. And I know he's not showing that it factor right now. You cannot tell me if we don't have one of the top 4 quarterbacks as far as Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes, if they're not on this team, that we're not 5-1 or 6-1. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that if we didn't have those guys, we wouldn't have that record. Tell me I'm wrong.
Kyrie, who's trying to tell you you're wrong? Who wouldn't think they'd be better with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback?
Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
Right. All right. Look, I don't think anyone's arguing this with you. I don't think anyone's going around saying Trevor's elite, Trevor's elite, Trevor's elite. I think he has some elite traits.
Right. Well, we certainly thought we saw them on that 18-play drive in the fourth quarter in Indianapolis. And how about that last drive last week where he put them in a position to win the ball game but came up a yard short? We're seeing the traits of that. I think, Kyrie, to argue the point, you can't say he's not it. You can't say he's it right now, but you can't say he's not it right now. He's got to play more, and he's got to play better. And he didn't.
Let's not forget he did lead them down to take the lead in the fourth quarter.
Another example.
And if the defense gets a stop against the worst offense in the league, then we're saying, hey, Trevor Lawrence, great job with that fourth quarter comeback victory.
But then he comes back around and throws the interception.
Right.
So it's the up and down nature. If you want to look at something that's the most disappointing right now, most is probably the wrong word, equally as disappointing is the fact that the defense couldn't get Matt Ryan off the field in Indianapolis. And Matt, by the way, was pulled off the field by Frank Reich this week, as you mentioned earlier. And they couldn't stop Russell Wilson, who hasn't been playing all that well, the worst offense in football that hadn't scored more than 20 points.
Couldn't stop Daniel Jones from running the same RPO over and over again.
And over and over. There's something wrong with this defense. The identity early on was sack, takeaway, and it's gone. And against the Colts, they couldn't stop the pass, and against the Giants, they couldn't stop the run. I mean, it's so up and down. They got to get the defense fixed every bit as much that they've got to get the offense fixed. No doubt. I will say this again to talk about the up and down nature. They had 3 and outs in the middle of the third quarter, the fourth quarter, where they got him off the field and got the ball back, and the Jaguars couldn't do anything with it till that final drive. So the defense did give up those 2 long drives, but they had a couple 3 and outs too. It's just so up and down.
Look,
with this
bottom
team.
line, Indy hadn't scored 21 all year.
Right,
scored in the 30s. The Broncos had scored 20 once, and you let them get to 21. Yeah. It's too much. Whatever, no matter how many stops you're getting, other teams are stopping them more on a routine basis. So
I don't want to take away. Look, the interception in the end zone was horrible, right? And the interception on 1st and 10 with 1:36 left to play, equally horrible. But Trevor gave him the lead, and in 2 of the last 3 losses, gave them the lead in the fourth quarter, and the defense failed too. So there's a lot more than just the quarterback. All right, we'll take a break and return with more on the Scoreboard Show after the Jaguars' 21-17 loss in London to the Denver Broncos. And you're listening to Jaguars Radio.
At Five Star Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. ViStar Credit Union, ViStarCU.org. Go Jags!
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Back on the Scoreboard Show, Brian Sexton with Mike Dempsey, and the phone lines are loaded up. You can join us, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Jaguars fall 5th consecutive loss. Ouch. Oof. This one in London to the Broncos. Hard to remember when they were 2-1, Mike, but as of now, they are 2-6.
I distinctly remember, however, doing the old, if the season ended today, the they were, after 3 weeks, they were the number 2 seed in the AFC playoff picture
and
at that point in time.
And I want to be completely forthright and honest and tell you that at one point, I thought after the loss to the Eagles that the Jaguars had a couple of wins in them. I mean, I thought they could rip them off. They had the Texans and the Colts, who I just don't even get me started on the Colts. And then the Giants and the Broncos, and I thought they could rip them off.
This was the portion of the schedule you looked at and said, this is gettable.
In Kansas, we call that putting the hay in the barn. I put it in too quickly.
Too quickly. All right, let's. As you said, phone lines are loaded, so let's head out towards the airport. Anthony is next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Anthony.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I can't complain. Got a 2-part question. The first part is, how many number 1 picks does a team have to have for it to be a Super Bowl team? Second part is, I think Doug should go ahead and release his jobs of calling the plays and get an offensive coordinator in. I'm hanging up. Thank you.
All right, I don't see that happening. I don't think Doug thinks it's the look. Has he had some calls that we disagree with? I think it's going to happen with any play caller, right? But look, all right, they're in shotgun. I don't like it. They run the little sprint out to the right. I don't like it. Trevor throws it away.
Yeah.
It's okay. No big deal.
Right.
It's
making
second down at the 1-yard line.
They're allowed, right? The Broncos are allowed to read a play correctly. They've worked on it all week and to attack it defensively and break it down.
And you realize it's not there.
Yep, throw it away.
Sail it.
Right. I don't know that. I don't think Doug's going to do that. Doug announced himself as the play caller the day he took the job here in January. What he might do is hand it off to Press Taylor. What he said he would do that. That was why he brought McCoy in and Jim Bob Cooter and Press Taylor, is when it gets stale, when it's not working, you have the option with all of these offensive minds, guys who have called plays in the past, to be able to go ahead and try it.
I think listening to Doug Peterson pretty consistently all year long, even going back to the Washington game, the very first game of the year, felt like they're putting him in some good positions. I mean, they're not getting blown out in these games. And we could point every week to a handful of poorly executed plays. And I'm not saying that the coaching staff is above reproach. I think more blame is on how the players are executing their assignments.
Well, and I don't want to intimate that I think he would do it for the rest of the season, but there might be a scenario where he does. And just as an example, on the play that ended the game, the interception, Zay Jones is running wide open. If the quarterback makes the right read there, instead of trying to force it to Christian Kirk, which if I'm the defender, I think this guy forces the ball to Christian Kirk to get him involved. If he dumps it off to Zay Jones, we're all saying, hey, great start. Here we go.
As far as the first question, which I take as rhetorical, how many first-round picks does the team need to win a Super Bowl? I don't know if he's talking about number 1 overall picks. We've had 4 in the last couple of years. I'm going to say it's more than 4 right now, at least for the 2022 season. Anthony, appreciate the call. Let's go to Leo on the south side next year on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Leo. How are you?
Gentlemen, good afternoon to you, Mike. Hey, Brian Sexton.
Hey, Leo, how are you?
Man?
What's up? We're good.
Brian Sexton, first, real quick, let me just say, man, we met one time, man, and I'm not going to say where to save embarrassment, but you're a very nice man. You're very enthusiastic. I miss you on the radio, man. You got a good radio voice, man. You got good energy, man. I like hearing you. So I wanted to call in today. But Jaguars note, real quick, they were 2-6. I'm about done with these phone calls. So I wanted to just say this. I want to blame 2 things for my troubles with the Jaguars. Remember when they signed Christian Kirk? A lot of people questioned it, and everybody was saying, that's a lot of money, and blah, 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 blah. Here's the problem. Mike, you know I've been calling you every week saying the same thing. I sound like a broken, redundant record. He's too little. He's too small. We always go to him at the end. Trevor likes to go to him at the end. Brian, you just said it. Zay Jones running wide open. I don't know why he's not looking for his big targets. I don't know if it's because Christian Kirk makes all the money and he has to throw it there. I could be wrong about that. But in this league, he's the same size as our defensive backs. I would like my guy to be a little bit, and Trevor has a problem sailing passes. Wouldn't you like your target to be a little bit taller? So Trent Baalke, I think you failed there. And everybody who keeps talking about running the ball. We've had great running games. Today was a great running game, and we ran for like 200 yards, and we still lost. Trevor has to make the throws. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry you don't want to hear that, and you just want to win, and you just want to hide Trevor with the running game and a good defense. You can't do that. He's got to make these throws, and he's not making them. That's all I wanted to say. Y'all have a good day.
I appreciate it. I feel, again, like I don't know if Leo's suggesting we're saying something opposite. Of course Trevor needs to make the throws. Right. And, yes, they were in position to win the game today, and maybe if they had run it one more time in the most crucial moment of the football game, as it turned out, they would have been able to win that game.
At some point, you have a franchise quarterback. You're going to throw. You're going to throw a whole lot more, but the franchise quarterback has been inconsistent through this 5-game losing streak, up and down. He's made mistakes. Giving him the ball via the ground game, right, and getting into the end zone there is just smart football. It's helping him until he's ready for more.
I'll say this, too. Look, as far as Christian Kirk's size goes, Trevor Lawrence does not have to throw it to him when he's blanketed on that last play. That to me, the size has nothing to do with that. Christian Kirk, they've used countless examples of creative play design to get him open this year. I think he's been a very effective receiver for this football team. Is he DK Metcalf? No. But not every receiver is that guy, and I think there's plenty of room for Christian Kirk to thrive in today's NFL, which is predicated on space and making guys miss and run after the catch.
This team needs that guy, though, Mike. They need that guy.
No question.
That every defensive coordinator has to point to and say, if we don't stop him, we're not. It's pointless if we don't stop him. And in the passing game, the Jaguars don't have that guy.
It's made me wonder why they haven't utilized Evan Ingram more in the red zone in particular, because you don't have that big body guy. He's the closest thing you have, and he got the touchdown today. That was great. I feel like every time they get to the red zone, he should almost be the first look if you're going to throw the football, at least give him a shot. It hasn't been the case so far this year.
No, he's a guy certainly that I have thought since he got here was, if you go back and look at the 2017 Eagles that won the Super Bowl, they had a mismatch, and it was Alshon Jeffrey, who's about the same size. And he was the guy that they looked to in key moments. And I have thought for the longest time that Evan Ingram would be Alshon Jeffrey in this offense. And to date, he is not, and I wonder if that's because the quarterback believes that it's more important for him to have the relationship with Christian Kirk.
Not sure. I don't think it enters Trevor's mind, though, how much is Christian Kirk making. I think Christian Kirk's a good player, and he wants to get the ball in the hands of a playmaker.
And the offense is geared to do just that. So, all right, we'll take a break and come back. One more segment of the Scoreboard Show. The Jaguars fall today at Wembley, 21-17, and we're back after this on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, one segment left here on the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Brian Sexton sitting in for JP Shadrick, who is in London, joined by Mike Dempsey. And Mike, we go right back to the phone line.
Yes, we do. We head out to Ponte Vedra, Brian, and Jimmy is on the line next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Jimmy. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Gentlemen, thanks for taking my call. And listen, I know there's a lot of piling on with Trevor, and I don't mean to, sack Trevor and move on from Trevor, and I don't want to say the word elite because I guess that's get thrown on a lot, but winning quarterback, right? There's three traits, right? Accuracy, good decision making, and that dog mentality that the NFL players throw around, or that competitive at the end of the game, the 2 minutes, and we're just not seeing it. So I guess the question is, how much time do you give a quarterback end of the year, into 8 games, into next year? Because we're 25 games in, guys, and we're just not seeing it. And then on the flip side, on the other side of the coin, that 49-yard play where we had Herndon on the island, it looked like Cisco bit hard on an underneath route. Do you think that's just a player going rogue or coaching? Because I tell you what, when I coach in that situation, it's no one gets behind you. So I'll take your comments off the air. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Look, we talked about this earlier with Cisco. It looked like, I don't know if he bit. I don't know what his assignment was on that play, but that's one that definitely needs to be answered. In terms of how long do we – look, it's as long as Doug Peterson deems it necessary, and I don't get any sense that he thinks Trevor Lawrence doesn't have everything he needs to be a really good quarterback in the National Football League.
You can count on him being the guy here through the end of next season at the very least.
I would agree with that.
Doug played the position for a long time. He played with some greats, with Dan Marino and Brett Favre, for Don Shula and Mike Holmgren, and with Andy Reid. He knows the position. He knows how to get it where it needs to be. If at any point in time he tells you, he'll give you a signal. You don't have to, he doesn't beat around the bush. He'll let you know that he doesn't think he's the guy. He hadn't done that. He ain't going to do that yet. And I think he's genuine in the way that he talks about the quarterback. Now, he's not going to share with us what he's going to say to him on the plane ride home, right? What his email might be tomorrow when he gets done watching the tape. I have no doubt that Doug is hard on him, even though he won't talk about it. So he's going to be the guy here. You got to give him that opportunity. You would hate to give up on him and have him go somewhere else and become the guy he's supposed to be. So, yeah, through the end of 2023, at the very least, at the soonest. And then the question about coverage. My son plays safety in high school football, and I'm constantly screaming at him, stay over the top. You know, he can't hear me, right? I'm in the stands the other night screaming, stay over the top. I got to believe that Mike Caldwell was saying the same thing to Andre Cisco.
You would think. It appeared that way.
We talked about it in the pregame show. Yep. He was going to have a key role today because we know that Trey Herndon is not a fast guy. It's why he was undrafted. He's smart. He's tough. He's a decent player. Cisco, I'm going to guess, should have been way over the top.
Seems that way. All right, we got one more without getting over the top ourselves. Let's go to Kevin in Savannah. Last word on the Scoreboard Show. Kevin, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. The last few calls tied straight into what I want to talk about. And it's the play calling, and it's Trevor needing to throw the ball. I mean, everybody harps on we need to run. Of course you need to run. But the NFL is a passing game. I believe Doug Peterson is playing very conservatively with Trevor. And my proof is we had second down and 2 3 or 4 times today. And in the past, I mean, you take a shot, 2nd and 2. Every time we ran the ball. I mean, Peterson's got to let either Trevor succeed or flame out. He's going to do one or the other. I think he can succeed. But if you don't, he needs to let him go, open the offense up, and if he succeeds, good. If not, he is what we didn't think he was. So, I mean, they're going to have to start zinging the ball down the field and opening it up. 2nd and 2, you throw the ball, you take a shot. 4 times, didn't take a shot. But anyway, thank you guys.
I feel, look, could there be some of that? Maybe, but I also feel like when it's 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and they throw the ball and they're unsuccessful, then everyone's saying, it's 2nd and short, just pick up the first down,
right,
and move to a new set of downs. I understand what you're saying. When you have that ultimate confidence in your quarterback, you're going to take those opportunities. And I don't clearly look. Trevor's not a finished product. He's not where hopefully he will get to one day. And I don't think they lack confidence in him. But at the same time, you got a running back who's picking up 7.5 yards a pop. It'd be kind of silly not to utilize him in some of those circumstances.
I'm just watching DeAndre Hopkins make a play in the end zone against Minnesota, where he had very little separation, but his arms are so long and he is so good at timing and jumping for the ball, Mike, that he made his quarterback look great. the Jaguars receivers are only okay. Now, I'm not talking.
I agree.
I'm not talking about Christian Kirk and not being worth the money and anything like that. Here's what I'm talking about. They don't have guys who play above the X's and O's. They don't have guys that when you throw it up, they go and get it. Or like Hamler today, they didn't have that speed to get open. It's not to say that they're not good enough players, but you're lacking that one alpha receiver who will win.
Well, sure.
And that will make this quarterback better.
One alpha moves everybody down one spot in the pecking order.
Absolutely.
And then, your one becomes your two and on and on and on. Look, if you stack their wide receiver core up against most teams in the National Football League, they would be left wanting. I mean, they're not among the best wide receiver cores in the National Football League.
No.
It doesn't mean they can't be effective with good play calling and execution and all those things, but you also can't have the drops. I mean, let's talk about Evan Ingram.
Yeah, that was a key one.
Couple you could, one clearly, maybe two. Christian Kirk had a drop today. I mean, these guys have to help their quarterback out as well, especially if he is struggling a bit. At least look, if you throw for $133, I don't care how good Denver's pass defense is. That's not a great day at the office. No. So make the plays on that end as well that are there to be made. Trevor's got a lot of responsibility in this. Nobody's denying that he does, but there's not just one guy that's holding this team back.
I go back and I watch. I'm sure you do too, because the field pass gives you the opportunity to see the game from so many different angles. There just aren't guys running open. They don't have guys who are now. I mean, Zay Jones on the underneath but down the field, when you talk about airing it out and opening everything up. Okay, well, I mean, Doug Peterson's shown he likes to do that. He's a quarterback, but he's not going to be able to do it until you get guys that get open. And Christian Kirk is a guy they paid and is a guy that they have a plan for and has the ability to be an impact player here. But you're seeing now that you need that other guy. You need that guy that draws the attention away so that he can be his best in the middle of the field. And they don't. Marvin Jones isn't doing it. I love Zay Jones. He isn't doing it either.
No, they don't have that guy. And
when you can say, take him away.
You can't necessarily get all of that in one off season.
No, and I don't think that they would even try to tell you that they thought they did.
No, I don't think they thought they had the alpha.
No
doubt about it.
No. Those guys are hard to find, by the way, because Devontae Adams was given the tag and then traded, right? Tyreek Hill was traded. Mike Williams was given the tag. The
A.J. Brown was traded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those guys don't hit the free agent market. You got to go draft one and develop them.
And you're right. You got to make sure you draft the right one.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that'll do it. 2 hours down. Jaguars fall 21-17. Thanks for having me in.
Hey, thanks for
appreciate it.
Spending time on the mic with me.
Here we go. So thanks to Tony and to Linda and David Cho and everyone who made our broadcast from the Jaguars Radio Network studios here at TIAA Bank Field so seamless today. Have a great one, everybody. We'll talk to you this week as the Jaguars get set to take on the Las Vegas Raiders next Sunday here in Jacksonville.